What's up? Blizzard here again. We got War 5 versus Legion. I am coming straight from recording War number 4, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. This one is a little cleaner, I'm hoping, but yeah, let's get right into it. So in this war, I pretty much, actually not pretty much, I am only using Tigra on attack. I only have 4 fights yet again, but they're a little bit more difficult than the last one. It's not quite as blah of a war. I have Odin for both myself and for somebody else for pre-fight. And then I have Heimdall on the team. I'll explain why here in a little bit. It's not for any of these first fights, but let's go ahead and get into it. This first fight might be the most boring Tiger fight I've ever had. You'll see why. We have Scarlet Witch here on the node, which gives you placebo. Again, I said this in the last war video. I'm bad with node names. But essentially, she gives you a placebo buff, so she's going to be gaining power. But you'll see why that's not going to be a problem. So I'll pause. Because this was my first war using Tigra, I overboosted the shit out of this fight, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm pretty comfortable now. After that, I didn't boost quite as hard. But in this first fight, I was just kind of like, all right, we're gonna slap them all on. So boost, boost, boost. Got the biggest boost we can find. For some reason, we use an invulnerability boost. Again, this is just kind of like nerves. Like, all right, I'm not gonna get Tiger invited back to war if I don't do these well. So, do end up using a smaller Mystic Power boost. Didn't need it. But, again, I also want to preface this fight with one more thing. This was like 1 a.m. for me, and I was on Ambien at the time. Really should not be doing my war fights like that, but turns out it did not matter at all. Anyway, let's get into the fight after all that prefacing. This essentially turns into an arena fight, is basically what I'm saying. So my goal here, I'm just gonna bait heavy. I don't really care what she's doing. I don't really care about the placebos, really. If she throws a special attack, I'll duck it. I'll counter with my own heavy. But you'll see why that doesn't become an issue. Because she power drains. And at this point, it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm just going to bait heavy then. And the fight's over. And that was it. It might be the most boring war fight I've ever done. Actually, I take that back. That is the most boring war fight I've ever done. And you know what? Because I'm a bad YouTuber, I completely forgot to put the music on in the background, so let's keep going with the music on in the background this time. God, I am so bad at YouTube, man. Alright. So here we have Hulkling on node 34, which is where he gains a power charge when he gains 6 buffs. Again, we're using Tigra, because that's the only feasible champ we can use at this point. Here, my goal is, it's Hulkling, okay? I don't need to play risky at all. I'm going to block him once. Yeah, he's going to get a Pierce buff, but I'm going to parry him, and then at that point, I'm basically just going to play it straight up. I'm going to counter his heavy when I can, or not counter heavy, but I'm going to counter his special attack when I can. Short of that, there's not really a reason to bait heavies because he gains so many buffs, he gets so many ruptures. I'm gonna put on excuse me. I'm gonna put on a power back boost, and that ends up being overkill. The power start 1 boost, I don't really care about for this fight. This is for the next fight, which I'll show you, which is coming up. I just know that this fight is going to be so short that might as well slap it on now. Honestly, I'm going to get through the rest of my 3 fights in this war in under the 2 minutes and 47 seconds that is on this clock. God, I love using Tigra so much. I'm so glad that a chorus let me bring her to war. But again, here, I'm going to parry, and at this point, fight's over. Like, there's not a lot that I could do at this point to die. As soon as I get that first neutralize on, and I'm not even going to dash, but like, again, it's one of those things where, yes, you're going to do more damage, but she already does so much damage as it is. She's controlling the buffs. Here, I'll counter special one. It's completely over as soon as you get that first neutralize on. Yes, there are faster ways to play that look a lot prettier, but that is so safe. Why? Why would you try and play it riskier than that? So in here we have a Nihilus on Inevitable Power and Rich Get Richer, and so here's where I had those Odin buffs for, just so I can have one more buff than his Rod. So I'm the one gaining 9% power. He's not. I still have the Power Start 1. The goal here is just get to a special 2, fight's over. I don't really want to take any hits from him. I'm going to do a little dash back at the very beginning, intercept him, and at this point, it's done. It's Tigra. What else do you expect? So I've got that power back. So I'm going to get to another special 2 here because of the power gain. I'm just going to duck this. As he dashes at me, I'm going to throw a special attack. I could have done that a little bit cleaner with countering the special attack. But again, why? No damage taken. Why? Just play it safe. It's still fast. It's not like it's slow. Fight duration 22 seconds. It may not make me look like the best Tigra player. I can play her better than this. It's just one of those situations where it's war. There's not really a point. In Battlegrounds, I'd probably play it differently, but in war, so here's the reason why I have Heimdall on the team. I was talking with a chorus the night before this, and he asked me if I could do Cersei with Tigra. I said yes. I have no problem with Cersei versus Tigra, but with Hazard Shift, Incinerate, and Poison, I was a little bit concerned because I didn't know how much damage I would be taking with Incinerate and Poison. I was concerned that even though Tigra's going to do this extremely quickly, that the Incinerate and Poison might get me down to an uncomfortable level. And so it's just like, can I just throw Heimdall on the team just in case anything happens? He said, yeah. Does not end up mattering in the slightest. I still have the Power Start 1. I still have the power back. And so yes, I do get the debuffs, but this fight goes so damn quickly that it doesn't even matter. So I don't want her to throw heavy. She's stun immune, so if I don't really want to be near her, I'm just gonna rewind 1 second, because that was kind of a plan, but kind of not. My goal there was the dash back, get her to dash back, put her in the corner, throw the special 1, then start heavy chaining. That kind of worked. I got the special 1 off. And you're gonna see I completely misplaced the heavy, didn't matter, she was kind about it. So now I'm just gonna start chaining heavies. Bait special 1, counter special 1, it's Tiger, you know how it works. At this point, the fight is over. The poisons and incinerates are not doing nearly as much damage as I thought they would be doing. Yeah. So that took... My explanation took longer than the fight. That was 30 seconds. So that was my war. My war is done. You'll see a course down here at the very end. That was the most fun war I've had so far, even though it was pretty safe fights. We are currently winning this 4-3, about even on the number of fights. I think we have like 3 less fights. So hopefully we end up winning this one because we really need it. But that is going to do it for war number 5 versus Legion. Thanks for hanging around for all my rants. And I know the fights, if I had just played the fights, this would have been like a 3-minute video. So thank you. I'll see you in War 6, hopefully. Bye.